competing against 60-year-old surgeons who have claimed that they have invented a new way to perform heart surgery using freaking McDonald's straws, right?
Hey, good morning. It is Connor,
Garrett,
with the Uptown Creation team. Today we are really excited. So we're doing our first partnership video with a guy named Dick up in Minnesota. And so we're doing a quick video to explain our experience in the entrepreneurship program at the University of Iowa. And then on the flip side, you'll get to hear Dick's take going to school up in Minnesota and how his involvement in a business accelerator was. So.
Hey, Uptown Creation subscribers. My name is Dick Polipnick, as I'm sure you were introduced. Today, we're going to be talking about local entrepreneurship programs that are available to colleges. You know, whether you're in a university, a tech school, you'd be surprised how many of them actually have programs going like this. And they're called entrepreneur incubators, is kind of the term that's loosely thrown around. And the one that I am actually well versed in is called the Minnesota Cup. And I know that Uptown Creation is versed in University of Iowa Accelerator program, but I'm going to be talking about my experiences with my incubator and just how I've been very successful with it, and how you too can be successful with your school's incubator and how you can find it in the first place. So let's dive right into it. The Minnesota Cup, are you ready for this? Is the world's largest statewide competition. Now, those aren't my words. Those are the words of the incubator. So I know it sounds a little confusing, but just pause the video and rewind and watch it again. But so what it is it's essentially a business pitch competition, and it's designed to help young entrepreneurs kickstart their companies from concept to business plan to potentially actually creating an income to support them, you know, as a living. I applied for the Minnesota Cup back in March. I started the application because it takes like 2 months to complete. It's a long, strainful process, but it's worth it because it really makes you refine your business plan, especially for the ones that are more in the early stages like I was. So I'm actually competing with, one of the requirements is that you have to have $1 million or less in revenue, or you can't cap, I should say. So I'm competing against businesses that are making up to $9,000, you know, whatever, 9999, $1 less than $1 million, right, or 1 penny, essentially. So the fact that I'm actually as far as I am competing with those guys, and the company that I'm applied with is called Rhino Tools. That is one of my many startups that I am heavily invested in. That is a tool manufacturer, and essentially what it is it's doing what Snap-on did for wrenches. Rhino Tools is doing for landscaping tools. Very cool, very innovative, and I'm very excited about it. So I took that company it was in its early stages, not like on a napkin business plan. Like, we had been going for, I think, exactly a year when I applied for the first round Minnesota Cup. And we were at our 9th out of 10 prototypes, so we're almost done. And we are in our process of applying for our provisional patent, so pretty cool. And we ended up we competed against 1,300 applicants. We made it to the semifinalist round, only the top 10 from each category. There are 8 categories in total, things like tech, ag, food, beverage, like kids 18 and under, people in college. Those are the different categories. Nonprofit is one of them. I'm in the category called General Division because I am not in college. I dropped out, and because it doesn't really fit with food or tech or anything like that. So I'm in the General Division, which is actually, to my bragging right, is the hardest category because the most applications flood that category in the first round. So the fact that I had potentially 3 times as much competition as the other semifinalists had for their initial first round. So pretty cool that I made the top 10 in the hardest category. So then me and my other 9 competitors in our general division, semifinalist, we compete, and the winner of that one gets $30,000 seed capital, and they get to put that into their business. For us, we need to invest into a $30,000 mold, actually, for one of the parts. So it's not going to stretch very far for our incubator or for our business because we're already pretty far in the process. But for people who are just on a napkin plan, man, that's what you need to get going, right? You too can enter into a competition just like this, like the incubators that we're talking about, like the Minnesota Cup, like the Accelerator program. And how you do that is, number one, you have to find the people that would be organizing it. Best way to do that, number one, is you check meetup.com. You can find, usually people have like a little like a kickoff event, like an entrepreneur kickoff. And I know that Minnesota has one for both, just a general, like every startup incubator goes there and has a little booth, and you can find them like that. Otherwise, I know that the Minnesota Cup had its own kickoff of its own, before the application process even started, just to kind of spread the word and get people to meet each other, you know what I mean? So you can find those on meetup.com. And another way is you have to go find your school's entrepreneurship, or in some cases they don't have those. You have to find their business program. Go talk to the dean, talk to the professors, talk to the students who are in the graduate classes, or if you're in a tech school, talk to the people who recently graduated. They know, they have been there, they've done that. So what you do is you find, like at the University of St. Thomas, you can go talk to the entrepreneurship dean, or you can talk to the entrepreneurship professors. We had 2 of them that were specifically for entrepreneurship majors. You can talk to them. They know about them. There's one called the Fowler program, but there's many of them around. There's statewide ones, there's nationwide ones, National Federation of Independent Business, the NFIB, that's an association, they put on things like this. They even have scholarships available for kids who are in high school. Or in our case, in the Minnesota Cup's case, I'm competing against 60-year-old surgeons who have claimed that they have invented a new way to perform heart surgery using freaking McDonald's straws, right? And they're actually entering in their startup into the Minnesota Cup, and they're competing against people just like me, a 20-year-old versus a 60-year-old. So it doesn't matter how young, how old you are not restricted in entering these incubators, these kickoff programs. So you go find somebody in the staff at your school who has been there, done that, and they can point you in the right direction. Number 2 piece of advice for when you're going into an incubator is you need to find a mentor to guide you. So like when you're writing an essay in a college writing class, you have like 2 or 3 peers peer review it and kind of give you critiques before it's going to the professor where you get your final grade. Same thing in the application process here. I had contacted the previous year's winner for the Minnesota Cup general division, and I had him and his team, his whole team, critique my application. And then I contacted other mentors in the Minnesota Cup. I contacted past judges. I have even contacted people who were originally there when they helped found the Minnesota Cup competition, like the actual founders of the competition. So I had many groups of people sift through my application and point out the best things. And to be honest, I didn't take all of the recommendations because I wanted to keep it still me. I wanted it to be me, right? I didn't want somebody else writing it. But I took the things that I thought were good ideas that other people reading that application would like, that would help me get on to the next round, and that helped me. And I can vouch that obviously it worked because I beat I made it to the top 10 for the hardest category. And just to kind of give you an idea, I'm still in the Minnesota Cup this summer. We have our semifinalist round in August, and then I move on from there if I'm probably going to win because I'm Dick Polipnick, right? No, I'm just kidding. But the final round against the finalist round is the winners of each division. So they all got 30 grand. They all go to the finalist round in October, where we compete for an additional $50,000 and media, we all get media coverage, which is another great thing about these incubators. Look at Uptown Creation. Their YouTube channel is exploding over, just a month here of being on YouTube. And I will switch it over onto Uptown Creation to tell you about their Accelerator program. Garrett and the boys, it's all you. And Allison.
So as many of the viewers might know, we're currently in the University of Iowa's Business Accelerator. We just started week 5. This is Monday, first day of week 5, and there's 8 weeks throughout it. I'll explain kind of quickly what the Business Accelerator is from our standpoint at the University of Iowa. And so, quickly put, there are 11 teams in our Business Accelerator. The curriculum is all based around the business model canvas. So that is the 9 different segments, from value proposition, customer segments, revenue streams, and the other 6 that I forgot. So,
and then we also use a lot of lean launchpad methodologies throughout this specific accelerator.
And the biggest takeaways and why we really wanted to be a part of it was, yes, the exclusivity as a team. They also offer us $3,500, and that's for everyone on the team. So the university pays each of us $3,500 to work on your business for the 8 weeks. The other big takeaways that we really give value is in the mentorship. So there's a few directors that are kind of facilitate the whole program, and then there's a lot of mentors. We actually have a mentor list of people that we're required to reach out to throughout the 8 weeks. Each week, it is required to speak with your director at least once to give them an update on your progress, and then also meet with an outside mentor. The weekly breakdown kind of comes down to what Mondays, like today we had the brunch and learn, so we bring a big entrepreneur in, either from the community or someone in that can kind of talk on the subject we're focused on that week. So this week is revenue streams. What was the other one? Revenue streams and...
I think it's just revenue streams.
Okay, must be just revenue. Oh, key activities. Key activities.
Yeah.
Gosh. This guy just woke up. It's his birthday though. You turned 13. Garrett's happy 13th birthday today. So give him a break. So then each week on Thursdays, out of the 11 teams, we all have to pitch. And then really what we're excited for is at the end of the 8 weeks, there is the final pitch. And so if we are selected, they select anywhere from 3 to 5 teams, then we're competing to pitch our final product, which covers all 9 segments in the BMC canvas, for the opportunity to win additional funding at the end. So that's really exciting, because this is a way for us to bring in some extra capital without giving up equity or taking on a loan. This is kind of like free money in a way. So it's exciting. Right. But yeah, that's pretty much the 8-week Business Accelerator. So yeah, the full name is the University of Iowa Student Business Accelerator.
Yeah. So it's just like venture school or any other kind of incubator you get into. You get a lot of resources that you wouldn't have otherwise. So like for Connor and I, we were obviously going to still work on our business during the summer, but we saw the opportunity to sign up for this, and then being able to bring other people on our team and being able to provide them with money, since, you know, as a startup you don't have a lot of money to pay people. So it's kind of nice to have that opportunity to be given to us. So in terms of the entrepreneurial program here at the University of Iowa, we're actually number 2 in the nation, which is very exciting. And part of that being is all the resources and clubs we have connected to this program. Connor and I are involved with quite a bit. So just to kind of put it in perspective, there's Sigma Nu Tau, which is an entrepreneurial honor society where we do a lot of networking with businesses in different cities. We go on trips throughout the semesters. There's the Founders Club, which gives students office space and access to mentors. I envision...
So quick note on Founders Club. So that's kind of like the... everyone in the entrepreneurial program in Iowa, you look up to being a part of the Founders Club. So not anyone's allowed in. I think the entrepreneurship major is probably still the fastest growing major at the University of Iowa. But these are for people that you have to go through an interview just to get in. And so you're meeting with faculty to make sure that it's not a side hustle, but something you're truly pursuing. So once you're in, we meet every Friday at a really cool location, and we bring these expert entrepreneurs and people all around the community that come in and talk on different areas, talk about their success, and then it's a great way to just network. So I think at any given time, there might be a few hundred, maybe even upwards of 1,000 entrepreneurs in the program that might major in entrepreneurship. But in the Founders Club, there's anywhere from 50 to like 100 people, so it's definitely more exclusive. And it's cool to be around and network with other people that are taking it seriously, right? Working on a daily basis, making progress.
Also, if you're in the Founders Club, you get access to tons of pitch competitions throughout the semester, where the university actually pays for you to go to these competitions to have a shot at more money. Which, yeah, I mean, if you want to speak on that, you've actually gone to some.
Yeah, so with my previous startup, we were involved in a lot of pitch competitions. Again, that's kind of like free money. You don't have any loans to pay back or debt or anyone to worry about in regards to equity. So this free money is a great way to do it. And the coolest part about JPEG, and I guess one of the coolest, in my opinion, would be that they fund any startup that gets accepted into a competition, regardless of where it's at in the world. They'll pay for your travel there and back. It's a very tight-knit network of people that are here to help each other. So whether we have Uptown Creation, and let's say there's another business in the entrepreneurial program that does something similar, I think this is probably the thing that sticks out most, and it's that it's not this competitive scene. Yeah, when it comes to a competition, we're all trying to do the best, but really what makes our entrepreneurial ecosystem so great here at the University of Iowa is that we're all here to help each other, and we have the same mutual understanding that for all of us to get to succeed, all of us around us should too. So let's bring each other up and let's all grow together. And for anyone looking for these types of opportunities at other colleges or other schools, I would say to start, I know there's a website called grasshopper.com that you can sign up for their mail list and that they'll email you when there's these new ones coming out. But other than that, I would recommend looking at gsea.com. So that's the Global Student Entrepreneurial Awards. And that was one of the first competitions we had competed in. And these are, again, around the world. So that I would highly encourage anyone to look those up, because there's regional competitions that then qualify you for the national and international competitions to be able to travel. And so these are in every area around you. For us, our regional competition, we either had to choose to go to Chicago or Kansas City, and we went down to Kansas City, and it's a great networking opportunity too. But thanks again, and we're excited to give you some more updates as the Business Accelerator continues on, and yeah, stay motivated, stay up.
Stay up.
Meow. Make sure that you guys subscribe to Uptown Creation, and I want to give a shout out to Garrett, George, Chris, Connor, and Allison from Uptown Creation. Thank you guys for letting me collaborate with you. It's been a blast. I really enjoyed the phone calls that we've had planning this. Make sure you guys check back at their channel often. Make sure that you guys click their little bell button below so that you're notified when they come out with new content. And especially if it's content with me. I mean, come on, why wouldn't you want to see this? But check out my channel too. It's Dick Polipnick. You can check me out on social media at dpolipnick. I'm sure it's going to be in the description below as well.